All right, I'm gonna try to light you up here. So,
We're just getting right after it.
So in the morning, I always
You're just gonna give it to me raw.
Stop it.
Sorry.
I always go on X, and
Truth Social,
and I get my sports, and I've added it on ChatGPT as well. But funny enough, there's a story about it's a team in the English Premier League, Brighton. They're called Brighton and Hove Albion, and it talked about how the owner who bought them at when they were in 4th or 5th division, very low amount, and he really believed in embracing systematic optimization. And so they're now worth $596 million because of what he's done, and they continuously stay top flight.
What division
They're
are
in
they?
top division now.
Okay.
They're always middle of the table. What they do is they use stats and statistics, kind of like Moneyball, to buy players at a very low value, and they sell them for a huge amount. However, he said this was his quote. And I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm going to throw it out. Maybe just because I've relied a little bit. Data beats intuition. Systems beat chaos. I believe in that. Process beats passion. So I would say like top 5 or top 10 things people will say about me are my intuition and my passion. So I'm trying to gauge what that is. But for this episode where we talk about from chaos to clarity, how do we build repeatable systems that help you scale your business? I wanted to start with that because systems do beat chaos. And there was a time when your business was chaotic.
Yeah.
And process, as much as you're passionate about this business, I don't think you could have achieved the level of success and continue to scale just based on passion alone.
I don't know, man. Read the first, there's 3 parts in it. Read the first part.
Data beats intuition.
It's a tough one for me.
It is.
But I'm like a 50-50 on that one.
Well, would it be like
because I would look at data, but then I would ultimately make a decision usually on my intuition.
Right. And so do I. And from a recruiting standpoint, I look at it, I say the data is their resume, let's call it, or their work performance,
or their past performance,
or their numbers.
Yeah.
But it doesn't indicate what the gut feel you get about how they fit in, where they work.
But if somebody sat in front of you that worked at 5 different banks doing 15 million at every bank, and now they're telling you I'm going to do 100 million.
That data is correct.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You do lean on that, right?
You have to. That's a point of it.
But if data is absent, and I know you, if data is absent, you will always lean on your intuition. But if data is not absent, you will always give data more weight than intuition, I think.
Potentially.
Okay, so
Potentially.
so I'm 50-50 on the first one, but I think data is really important.
Okay.
And I think with the evolution of technology, we're going to be able to track everything.
Yep.
Okay. The next piece.
Systems beat chaos.
That's
easy.
Guaranteed.
Agree with that.
Yeah. 1,000%.
Okay, this is the last one that we can dive into.
Yeah.
Process beats passion.
So this is a really interesting one for me because I'm really passionate about selling money. Okay. And it's got a few of my favorite things, which is selling and money.
Right.
But I
sell money.
But I am so passionate about process. It's like almost as passionate about mortgages. I am so excited to try new things, to be able to scale this business with the horsepower that I have beyond limits that are ever imaginable, just strictly based on systems. So I think this person that bought this club is passionate about process. And I believe that last piece almost cannibalizes
It's
itself.
interchangeable, yeah. I'm trying to think of your business or the ones that are doing really well. I think if you had the cleanest process and the client goes from start to finish, but there's zero passion, there's zero care, you're not giving them that customer service feel. I don't know if they're coming back. And I also, you drove your business on passion at the beginning, and your process, 100%. You had no support.
100%.
And I think that if you're not passionate about something, like the process helps you, but when you lose that passion, the process might carry you for a little bit, But I think they have to marry each other in order to be successful.
I agree with you 100%.
So yeah, it's an interesting one.
That is really interesting.
But
let's see how long he lasts as the owner of the club, because
I think it's been 6 or 7 years. I got to look.
So maybe he wants to get it to a point where it's so optimized that he could just sell it.
Yeah. Max, look up how long he's been the owner. I don't remember his name, but just look up Brighton's owner and see. All right, so we're going to dive into...
I like that quote. That was really well done.
It was good, right?
Yeah.
The power, and it's just crazy, it came up today. Like, I like to prepare for the days, and I wasn't even looking it up. I was going to go into... I didn't use ChatGPT for the actual questions. This was kind of some of the stuff here.
I just like going raw, but I don't know. Maybe we should ask the listener, should I do more? Should I prepare more?
We can, but I don't think so. So... I want to ask you, and Max, let us know when you find the...
Yeah, it says since 2009 he's been the chair.
2009.
So
it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So maybe he's not looking to exit. But I have an agreement with the overarching theme that he's trying to portray, but I find that some of the nuances
are very profitable. I think he bought it for $96 million, which is still a heavy price tag. Back then, and now I think it's worth like $596.
I wish I knew a little bit more like about sports, but I do like some light reading on that side of things, and my understanding that in soccer in particular, a lot of these team owners hold teams to incur losses.
That's
right?
Correct. That's correct.
Right. So
yeah. Okay. So let's dive into the power of systems thinking, and I'm gonna hit you with another one.
Yep.
How do leaders, and I'm looking at your book of business because this is really, I think, going to stick with people. How did you shift from firefighting to building a repeatable, scalable process? I think you're still firefighting, but a little bit less. And I don't want to use that term lightly because firefighters take we're talking about just dealing with the regular, it's not nothing as serious as what they do, but for us, we call it, when there's a deal that's either going sideways or something's going off, we call it like putting out a fire. It's just a term just for,
There's only so many imaginable burns.
You were dying to say this.
Why?
Just because you thought of it and you're like, this is so clever, that the firefighter, the burns. I like it.
I didn't say
Oh, sorry.
But thank you.
Okay.
There's only so much pain you can go through to not look at the business and say, like, what are we doing here? Like,
right.
All of these problems that arise can all be prevented if you're not reactive to your business. So, independent of bringing new business through the door, you need to be efficient on the back end. The factory needs to work all the time. If you need WD-40, you got to be doing that.
Right.
And usually the problems that people face, they face them more than once. Right. So my philosophy is we need to look for problems before they become problems. Right. That's number 1, right. 2 and 3, right. And perhaps 4 and 5. Right. So the team and I need to have a scope view of, let's call it, and we're talking about just the origination business, of the next 30 days. And we need to review every file in detail. What is the, how savvy is the customer with sending documents? What stage of the bank is it? How challenging is the file? Do we need a plan B? And we need to ensure that we're working on it a month in advance. So if anything comes up, our back's not up against the wall. And we need to ensure that the bank knows exactly what's going on. So that means every single day, like I have a guy, his name's Max. His job is to sit in the pipeline all day. Right. You wake up in the morning, you sit down, you go through the entire list. Okay. Everything should be broker complete 10 days in advance after it's approved. So
that's manual. Let's actually get into the systems you have in place. So let's start with Max looking at the pipeline. Okay. Pipeline management. What systems are in place?
Okay, so what we try to do is we try to limit leakage at every step of the process. So that means you have a very good initial call with the customer, which means you get all the details up front. Okay. You note all the details up front. This is especially important if you're working with a team because they can't read your mind and they weren't on the call. Right. So you're only as strong as your note taking, which means your team should feel like they were on the call based on your notes. If you're a note taker, record your calls.
Okay. So that's a system then. You're recording calls now.
I'm recording calls, yes. Okay. So I record calls. Those calls, I built a closed AI model.
Okay.
That does a few things for me.
You built this.
Well, I paid someone to do it.
Okay. Yeah. And I just heard all the listeners ask me, are people open to you saying I'm recording the call?
Yes, very open.
Okay.
Yep. Very open.
Do you want to share how you say it?
I'm gonna record this call so I can go back to it later.
Are you okay with that?
I don't even ask.
He does ask. He does ask. I've been on a call. He does ask. Are you okay if I record this call?
Fine.
They say yes.
Fine. Are you okay if I record this call so I can go back to it later?
Okay, perfect. Okay. Intake client, note taking, recording.
I don't
calls.
know what
Beautiful.
iPhone has the option built in, which is really great. And then I do a lot of new mortgage inquiries on Teams, and that I also record as well. So the initial call gets recorded. It automatically, through the AI model that we built, goes into something called a deal internal note, which is a full recap of the conversation, which gets automatically dumped into our folder filing system. So OneDrive. And then it automatically spits out an email to the customer with a short recap of the conversation and every document we need to start the application. Automatically CCs my entire team.
All right.
So that's one way I'm able to not only not miss anything, number 2, give clear direction to the team, and number 3, save endless hours typing everything out. And I'm organized and I'm good at administration, but when you take 10 NMIs in one day, you can get a little fatigued. So that's
new mortgage inquiry, by the way.
Sorry, new mortgage inquiry. This system has changed the way we operate.
Absolutely. That's a huge system.
And it's a closed system, so it's not learning from outside sources, and it's not public. So it's very secure, which is very important to me, and it's built on Microsoft's platform, which is very important for me as well. And there's endless possibilities that it could do. So for example, if a referral comes into my email, the system picks up the referral. It tells me that a referral came in. I can approve or decline it depending on, because sometimes it thinks it's a referral, but it's not a referral. And then it automatically drafts a response to the customer and to whoever referred it. A lot of our referrals do come from email, so it does save time, and we answer right away because speed kills in this business. And I think that these sorts of little, intricacies that I'm, playing with all the time and working through are going to be day-to-day operational products for people in the future.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm very excited about it. So that's the call it the onboarding part,
Those
right?
are 3 good systems. Yep.
It gets handed off to the team after that. And I'm very clear on the call that I'm there to do the planning. I'm there to do everything they need and make sure that they're getting the right lender and, the price is good. Okay. But I don't really do a lot of the back end stuff because I want to be able to be there to deal with the bigger things.
For sure. Is there any systems for pipeline? Because you mentioned pipeline.
Yeah, so we just started on a new system. It's called Quattro. It's a mortgage-based business. It's a Canadian company. So just for a little context, I used to track my entire business on a spreadsheet in Google Sheets.
Okay,
and then
so this replaces your spreadsheet.
Yes, it's more than that. It houses all of our multimedia. It houses all of our notes. It houses all of the deals. It has, leads and all these other things, and they're coming out with some cool stuff. And I've been very excited to be a part of that pilot. And it gives everyone on the team an identity, which is really nice because on the spreadsheet, it's very tough to see who's doing what. So it gives people, the power to show that they're pushing the business forward, which is a big piece for us. So it's been very good. And Max's job in the business is to ensure that, customer satisfaction is an all-time highs all the time, and that means making sure that things are moving smoothly, banks are communicating with us, and referral sources are updated, and people in the pipeline are receiving updates on a regular basis that are not just empty, but in fact have substance and allow us to broker complete files right away.
Nice. How about checklists?
So we don't really use checklists. Everything's in Quattro. Everybody's got we can assign deals to particular people. We can hand them back between each other. We can note them to, say what our thoughts are. It is mandatory in our team that if you touch a deal, you need to update what you touch. Then you also need to update the referral source and the customer. Yeah. And so the onboarding comes in where I really want people that are specialized in what they do to specialize in what they do. So, underwriters are very important tools in the mortgage business. And I don't mean bank underwriters, but underwriters that work within our groups. Their six-figure staff have massive impact on the business. In my opinion, they shouldn't be sorting and labeling documents.
Yeah, I agree.
So I have a team, and I'm hoping to be able to optimize this through the model that we built, where documents come in either through an encrypted OneDrive link or through email, which I prefer if docs didn't come through email, but sometimes they still do. They get sorted and labeled on their own. And sometimes my ambition supersedes what's available, but I'd rather aim that high and see what can be done. So I have a team that puts away documents for the underwriting team and then goes back to the customer to let them know if there's anything missing. And then the underwriting team can then come in and start underwriting files. And now they have a complete package in front of them. They could really do their job effectively, and they could just underwrite more deals and really deal with the bigger rocks, I call them, like the bigger challenges, as opposed to going in and labeling this is a bank statement for July, or this is a pay stub. So it's been working great. The underwriter will approve the deal. The underwriter will then review the file with me, or if it's good to go, they'll call the customer. Here's the rate. Here's the amortization. Here's the payment. Here's where you're at. Confirm all those details, and then hand it back to the administration team to do the document for signing package, which I'm working on automating as well right now, right? I have templates for everything. So you go in, if it's a Scotia deal, you have a template, you copy the template, you put the documents in, you put it in an email, you put it in a DocuSign, DF's your uncle, right? So they do that. We get on a call with the customer, walk them through the documents, ensure that there's no problems, ensure we talk them through any sort of cashbacks, or if they have to open up an account, or if it's a B deal, if there's fees, or whatever the case may be. Just make sure that everything's kind of on board. They know exactly what they're getting into. They're happy with the rate. My model's always been, and perhaps people aren't going to be so happy with this, is I'd rather make a little bit less per deal but do way more deals and touch more customers and build the business that way. So I'm not overly sensitive to buy downs, and ensuring that the customers are really pleased with their service. Of course, if it's a very challenging deal, and anyways, business, right? Yeah. So once the package comes back signed, the admin team will then put it away, and the underwriter will begin to finalize the file from a fulfillment capacity, which I'm hoping at this point has already been done because we're a docs up front kind of group.
Right. You gave a lot. I'm gonna bring it back for all the listeners. That's okay. I took notes. So the first system in place is you record the call for the intake. You let them know that you're doing it. From there, the second thing is that call then goes into OneNote and automatically sends an email to the client recapping that call.
Not only does it send an email recapping, it sends an email. So it's the emails to me. Like it's a draft. I got to review it. I don't just send it. Right. So it's got a recap of the call. So like for example, Paul's looking to buy a principal residence. Him and his wife on the deal. 20% down, no debt, whatever.
Yep.
And then a list, right? So if you're self-employed, whatever the documents are. So then I'll review that. But in addition, it creates a very detailed deal internal note for my group. That talks about what I recommended, what the customer requested. If I talked about rates, the rates are in there so that we're never kind of stepping over our own feet saying, we never said that.
Right. Brilliant. Then we get into referral sends you an email, or you get referred a client into an email. Automatically, AI is drafting up a reply.
Automatic.
I love it. Pipeline, you're using a new system that has replaced your spreadsheet. Max lives in this, called Quattro. You guys have removed away from the manual labors of spreadsheets, and that's what you're using to update pipelines, send notes, all that other stuff.
Here's my challenge, okay? I need a system where I can live inside of and don't have to go through 4 or 5 different platforms.
Okay.
Quattro allows me to limit to 2 platforms, our submission platform and Quattro. Right. Because I can manage the entire business workflow through Quattro and I can submit through Velocity.
Got it. Love it. Then we have templates that you've created by lender.
Everything is templated to, hey, you're pre-approved, to here is a WhatsApp message we send when we open up a group chat, to every document for signing package with every single lender that we use, to here is what we write in a handwritten card when the deal finds. Everything is systematically templated. Whether they use it or not, I can't tell you. But everything is templated.
Good. Another one is you create WhatsApp group chats with the clients and your team.
Yes.
Which is another system.
Yes.
And a futuristic system, which is not in place as of yet, is you'd like the docs when they come through OneDrive to be sorted and labeled for you. And that's a future system.
You give me 2 months, it'll be ready.
Well, that's 7 things there that we've given them. I think that's a lot for the listeners.
Yeah, the document's the next piece.
So when we're recording in November,
yeah, it should be done.
I'm gonna follow up and make sure it's done.
Yeah, and look, I think that it's what I've undertaken with this initiative is to try and optimize the business in such a way that hasn't happened before. And I don't want to get rid of human capital. I want them to just do more important work. And I want the more, I don't know what the word is, the more, can I say the word ratty?
Ratty?
Yeah, it's like it's just annoying. Like, you know, labeling documents and sorting documents.
Time consuming.
Yeah, like it's just a computer can do it.
Right.
And then somebody just needs to oversee it. And I want to empower.
The tedious stuff. You want to get rid of the tedious stuff.
Yeah. And like, you know, the system should be able to add what human capital would add.
Right.
So you can do either more business, same amount of time, or same amount of business, half the time.
I love it. Well, I definitely think the chaos is leaving the business for you.
Dude, I am obsessed with process, systems, and optimization. And I really hope that we can get granular on results as we develop in the show. And I'm really excited to continue doing episodes like this that are short, sweet, and to the point. And hopefully if people can just get one thing out of them, that's all that matters.
I agree. That's a wrap.
Let's go.